So yeah, just last minute reminder, I'll actually turn to you. Ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise in honor of the bride. This is a very special occasion. I'm joining Letitia and Derek in the union of marriage. Perfect. Forward, please. Right about there. Now, the two of you have each had separate paths that led you to this very moment. And that's what the unity candle will represent later on in the ceremony. How your two individual lives will now become one through marriage. And thank you. You may be seated. Now, Derek, Letitia, taking a step into marriage means also that you're keeping the other's best interests always at heart. And if there's a few other things that I hope would carry along its way with the two of you throughout your journey together, it would be for you both to always be willing from the heart to listen, learn, and to love. And by that I simply mean for you both to always be willing to listen to one another, what it is that they have to offer, and what makes them feel whole and complete and part of this relationship. Because after all, they just may be the voice of reason. And secondly, is the ability to learn. Always be willing to learn whatever it takes to help the other fulfill every desire, every wish, every dream and goal that they may have. And lastly, but most importantly, is the ability to love. To love one another unconditionally, which means no strings attached. It's an ongoing love. And this is the type of love that I hope the two of you would wish to express to one another each and every day. Keeping in mind, Derek, that Letitia's happiness will always be far more important than your own. And also that Derek's happiness would be important as well. But the reason for that is, with that in your minds and in your hearts, I have no doubt that your lives together will be everything that you want it to be. So with that said, sir, I'll ask you first. With your presence here today, alongside Letitia, do you take her as your wife and promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting her always, allowing nothing or no one to ever come between the two of you? Do you take her as your wife, sir?
I do.
Thank you. And I'll ask you the same. With your presence here today, alongside Derek, do you take him as your husband and promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting him always, allowing nothing or no one to ever come between the two of you? Do you take him as your husband?
I do.
Okay. And if I could have you hand over your bouquet. And if the two of you would turn and face each other and hold each other's hands. Now as you look into each other's eyes, you will see the very reason of what brought you here this afternoon, proving that at this moment there is no one more important than who stands before you. So Derek, as you look into her eyes, I'll have you repeat your vows. I, Derek, take you, Letitia.
I, Derek, take you, Letitia.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
I will always be there for you.
I will always be there for you.
Through the good times and the bad times.
Through the good times and the bad times.
Whether we are rich or poor.
Whether we are rich or poor.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
Through laughter and tears.
Through laughter and through tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Thank you, sir. Now, Letitia, as you look into Derek's eyes, I'll have you repeat your vows. I, Letitia, take you, Derek.
I, Letitia, take you, Derek.
To be my husband.
To be my husband.
I will always stand beside you.
I will always stand beside you.
Through success and misfortune.
Through success and misfortune.
Through the joys and sorrows of life.
Through the joys and the sorrows of life.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
Through laughter and tears.
Through laughter and tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Thank you. And at this time, may I have the rings, please? Thank you very much. Now, these rings will seal this commitment. And they're not only tokens, but symbols of the very love and devotion that the two of you are expressing here today. And my hope is that in each and every day, with the two of you wearing these rings, may they constantly remind you of that promise and pledge that you have just made to one another. And in time, the rings themselves may lose beauty. But I hope that the two of you would not only value, but take honor in wearing these rings for what they truly represent. And through your friends and family, the beauty will shine through you both. And the two of you will always remain a wonderful example to all. So Derek, in taking her ring, if you would place it upon her ring finger, and if you would please repeat, with this ring, I seal my promise.
I seal my promise.
To be your faithful and loving husband.
To be your faithful and loving husband.
And I am so honored.
And I am so honored.
To call you.
To call you.
My wife.
My wife.
Letitia. And in placing the ring upon his ring finger, if you would please repeat, with this ring.
With this ring.
I seal my promise.
I seal my promise.
To be your faithful and loving wife.
To be your faithful and loving wife.
And I am so honored.
And I am so honored.
To call you my husband.
To call you my husband.
Now at this time, if I could have the two of you step over to the unity candle. Now as I mentioned earlier, the two of you, if I could have you on this side. Okay. The two of you have each had separate paths that led you to this very point. And it's the individually lit tapers that are representing your individual lives. And in lighting the center candle, you'll not only be uniting yourselves, but that of your families as well. So I'll ask you to take a hold of your individual taper, and if at the same time you could light the center candle, which is also symbolizing the creation of a new journey with new memories. And once lit, if I could have the two of you turn and blow out your individual taper. And I'll invite you guys back to the front. Now, Derek, Tisha, if you love someone, you'll be loyal to them no matter what the cost. You will always stand beside them. You will always love and trust them. And you will stand your ground in defending them no matter what. Now, there's a short saying that I like to leave with the two of you. And it simply says, don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. But walk beside me as a friend. Because after all, throughout your journey together, that is what the two of you will be constantly building on, is a deeper, richer, stronger friendship built upon the foundation, your wonderful relationship that the two of you already have. So the 8th of December, a day for you both that will now mark your anniversary. It certainly has been a joy to be part of the celebration with you both. And in the presence of friends and family, as witnesses, the two of you have each showed your intentions by the exchanging of your vows and the exchanging of your rings. And I'd also hope the two of you would not only love each other for who they are, but for what they are also helping to make of you. And with the authority vested in me by the state of Nevada, it is my honor and my privilege to now be able to pronounce you as husband and wife. Derek, you may now kiss your wife, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that will now have their first dance.
Saved by the Galaxy, y'all. She told me to move, you know.
I can't move like that.
Do we smash more this long, man? Alright, let me just watch it. Yeah.
It's fun, God. If I could have the bouquet return to the bride. I'll have the two of you turn to face your guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you, once again, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. The newlyweds.